Welcome back to Two Brothers Sports Podcast presented by RambleOnSports.com. It is Wednesday, April 10th. We have the birthday boy, Sean Rosenkrantz, here. It is his birthday on the 10th. So, everyone who's listening, make sure you shoot him a text, wish him a happy birthday. And, Sean, you and I both have birthdays this week, and it tends to fall on Masters weekend. And I don't know if we were just brought into this world to do nothing but sit on our butts for our birthday weekends and watch the beautiful Masters weekend. I don't know, but I will not complain. We're gonna have a ton of fun talking Masters. We've got the college hoops Final Four and championships are wrapped up, so we'll recap those real quick for you. And then Max has to get his UFC 300 picks out to you guys because this card could take a 10-hour freaking podcast session to deep dive into each one. That's how good each fight is. So, anyways, we've got Sean here, birthday boy. We've got Max here as well. Guys, we had a great weekend. Let's kind of keep that momentum going into this week. And Sean, happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, thank you very much. And also to everyone listening, the next day, Thursday, is Sam's birthday. So make sure to send best wishes there. So happy 30th birthday, Samuel Carlin. But
Don't
appreciate it.
remind me. Oh,
I'm glad. Like sports were just, sports was awesome here recently for me, particularly my team. Sports was sporting and doing well. Today was kind of a little bit of just a remember the humility there. Pirates blew a 2-run lead in the ninth. Arsenal did not quite get a great performance in there, but we're all sitting here ready for the Masters. I know Max ready for some UFC this weekend. So excited to talk some golf, first major of the year. And again, appreciate the warm wishes.
yes.
Absolutely, yeah. Happy early birthday to both of y'all. I know we're recording on a Tuesday, so um, yeah, we had a fun weekend, and I'm ready to keep it going into a fantastic weekend. I mean, we all we got to do is just watch some fights and watch some golf, the complete counter opposites of each other. And, I can't wait. So definitely ready to talk shop as always.
Hey,
Pollen's kicking my ass. If I don't know about y'all, but the pollen
yeah,
is destroying me right now.
Mhm.
It's
I like
terrible.
to. I don't know if
I
I'm just
sound weird. That's why.
fair, fair. I sometimes I don't know if I'm just I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm just dehydrated and a little bitch or if I have the pollen. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I mean, we've got a great weekend. We've got a ton of good hoops to talk about. Overall, I mean, Saturday, if we're talking about it, I mean, it's not like the most, we had our Purdue, NC State, and UConn and Alabama. Max, you and I said on the podcast last week, kind of don't expect them to be the sexiest of games, so we're not going to spend too much time on them. But both Purdue and UConn rolled over the opponents there, and then of course Monday comes the final, and so that's the last night for everyone. And I mean, want to get y'all's thoughts. I obviously can. I'll probably go on a little rant, but UConn is just what are you gonna do, man? So I appreciate the greatness, but what was your guys' kind of takeaways from that championship game?
Look, fundamental basketball. That's my only take. It's
Mhm.
in you can turn on a lot of these games. If you turn on an Alabama game and it starts to, I'm not sitting here and say like, listen, the NBA is the NBA. It's a great product in like the playoffs, but it can be a little rough sometimes in the regular season when it's just analytically on shooting shots that will get the most points, so threes. So like it's cool when just UConn dominates with pick and roll and backdoor screens and stuff like that. Not only just beat you, but beat you soundly.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came down to coaching and preparation. They knew Dan Hurley knew what he needed to do. I mean, they were probably the two best teams in the nation. Like that's what we in theory wanted. I mean, we wanted the best of the best to go at it, and still shows just UConn is an absolute monster. Covered in the last what now 11 or 12 games in the tournament.
Yep. 12,
Um,
12 straight games.
12 now. Yeah. So just completely dominance. Little dynasty going here with Dan Hurley, although we hear apparently Kentucky's got an offer he cannot refuse, but we shall see.
Well, I have the from a UK source. Some of those, I don't know if that's out like public, but they apparently it's 11 million a year for about 5 to 7 years. Right now he makes about 4.5 million a year. I mean, so does he entertain it? Yes. Does he
Yeah,
take it?
I mean, at least
I
take the
don't know, man.
PJ and get out there and get wined and dined. You
Yeah.
just want to back-to-back natties. Why not
Yeah.
at least take the
And
opportunity?
I imagine UConn will take care of him as well. Like, I
Oh
mean, he
yeah,
might never get UK money at UConn, but I'm sure there's more room in the budget now after back-to-back natties.
yeah. That I
He's such
mean, they got to be able to throw bonuses and stuff. I'm sure there's a couple bonuses he's got that helps him stay happy. Given what 4.6 is
property. Yeah,
tonight.
some property up there in
Yeah,
stores.
yeah,
Just look at him coaching, man. Like,
he's
oh,
awesome.
he doesn't really strike me as the guy that like I think he's like, hey, I like I'm making a pretty good living here. Like, what is an extra $6 million going to do for my happiness? Like,
That's
And
true.
he
I mean, I'm sure he's got pressure at UConn, but you think about the amount of pressure going to Kentucky after just winning back to back. Like, those fuckers are no joke. Like,
yeah. I mean, the pressure that he's got now at UConn after winning back to back, where he probably could negotiate and get maybe half of, maybe he could meet in the middle between what Kentucky's offering and UConn. And what are they going to do if he doesn't win a natty for another 15 years? I don't think anyone's firing him still, unless he's going 10 and 20. But we know that's not going to happen. That man won't lose more than 10 games in a season, and probably for the next 5 years. And if I could put my money on that, I absolutely would. There's no way they lose like more than 10 and a half games like a year. Like Gary, he's from the Northeast. He fits that like just Yukon tough ass style. Like it really like I didn't I didn't expect it to fit as well as it did. Like I guess when he first moved on, I think it's Rhode Island,
yeah,
is where he came from. And I was like, okay, it's gonna take him a while to build it. Didn't take him long, and he won two in a row while he's at it. Like, dude is I love I know he's like harsh and like, he pushed Spencer in the back with like the last 3 minutes because he's like, yo, go, go, go. And like he's in your face. But dude, like the guy loves basketball. I think he might love basketball more than anyone I've ever seen in my entire life. Like just developing players and just ball. Like the guy just you can tell, like he just oozes that passion. And so I hope for like UConn's sake they keep him around. Like, would it be great for Kentucky? Yeah, but I actually did see one. I was gonna text you guys, decided to just bring it up here. I'm seeing Billy Donovan's name also going in the mix.
I
Bulls could
did see that. I thought it
yeah.
was just stupid Bulls Twitter trying to fuck around.
I've heard some rumors. I wouldn't hate it. Like they're gonna get someone big time. Like they're not gonna they'll wait and fill it with an NBA guy once they finish their season in the off season, as opposed to like taking someone from a school that they don't think. Like I like a lot. Like I love the JMU coach. Don't get me wrong. He's not a guy. You're not bringing that to Kentucky. Like you're bringing you
You're
and
bringing a name. You're gonna bring a name.
yeah, exactly. So I'm interested to see that. I'm just like back to back first since Florida, 12-0 against the spread each game. Um, Really a balanced kind of performance from UConn. Like everyone did a little bit of everything. To your guys' kind of point earlier, I have to say something though. How does I know UConn's defense is good, but when was the last time a team played in the national championship and made one fucking 3-pointer? One
mm-hmm.
3-pointer. Like you
Yeah.
you're down by 15 for like most of the second half. And at that point, it's like, dude, they have shooters. Purdue does not like not have shooters. I know UConn's defense was swarming, and it's probably one of the best defenses I've seen on like off ball kind of movement. But at the same time, like you guys, I don't know, like Braden Smith, good shooter. He was held in check. Like I think I think just what it went to show is that, yeah, you got Edie and Klingon going at each other. It's great. It's fucking great for basketball. Two giant dudes in the post, kind of like just reminiscent of what basketball used to be like. You know what won UConn? Guard play. And that's what's going to win every single time in the tournament. And UConn has so many goddamn guards. And I don't know. I mean, Edie had 37 points and 10 rebounds, shooting 15 of 25 from the field. And the rest of the team scored a total of 23 points. Like,
Yeah, and
Painter, the half, I think the difference was the halftime adjustments. Hurley made halftime adjustments. Painter was banking on the fact that Edie was going to be able to hold up for that long, and you could tell he was getting tired at the end. So that's just kind of my big takeaways. I was all over UConn. I put a little on Purdue plus like 9.5 to hedge, just a smidge, and maybe I could win every single bet. But I had so much on UConn it didn't matter.
yeah. And that's the thing. Like, even though this is my last thing, Edie did have 37 points, but he probably could have had like 50. Like they just kept feeding him, and Klingon shut him down a very good bit. I saw a thing. My buddy Nate sent it actually, so I'll give him credit. But um, there's just probably 10 plays where Klingon stays on Edie's left shoulder, knowing that he's not going to drop step right. And literally, he would still go left and then just fucking lose it or whatever. So that's
Good preparation.
coaching, just knowing game film and shit. Like, it could have been a little closer game. Edie still had 37, but still, that's a bunch of stops.
Yep.
I mean, crazy. So, and Klingon didn't even do that great. Like I was hoping for a good old like 30 and 15 or 20 to get me back in our draft thing, but yeah, didn't do much.
Yeah, yeah. And I was looking at it, and like, so Edie had 3 turnovers, which was more than anyone else on the team. But at the same time, like he probably had more like kind of indirect turnovers, or maybe like, kind of bad shot, like, just not that he
Exactly.
was the sole reason, but like he had some like kind of like pokeaways that might not have been like a steal turnover, but might have thrown their, kind of rhythm off. So I think
Yeah.
it's tough when you rely so heavily on him. I mean, Fletcher Weir is one of the better guards in the Big Ten, and the dude didn't score a single point. So, um, what's his name? Stephon Castle and Tristan Newton were just lockdown defense on the perimeter too. So, Caravan, Caravan didn't have a lot of points. Caravan's kind of like I don't even know what the term is, but he's just a Swiss Army knife, I guess. Like he does a little bit of everything, kind of just whatever is needed at that time. If you need him to switch and, at least contest Edie, like he can do that so that Klingon doesn't pick up that extra foul. So I don't know. UConn's loaded. They're going to be back next year. I was very close to just putting all of my profits from the national championship onto UConn to 3P. And I don't know if that was, I held back, but I don't know, man. I just get more transfers, they're not gonna have a problem. So shout out to UConn. Impressive run. Starting to look like a Mahomes kind of setup with the Chiefs. I'm just not gonna bet against UConn until I'm proven otherwise.
Yeah,
So,
no matter who they have.
yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as Dan
As long
Hurley.
as it's Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, and as long as it's just Dan Hurley.
Yep.
Yeah. Great season. I mean, we had some good stuff. Great tourney, all that fun stuff. So
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man.
but just didn't want to put them in our tournament.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, talking about good men's tournament. How about the women's tournament? I mean, they had more viewership than the men's at a lot of times, and I'm pretty sure in the national championship they might have even done that too. So, let's talk about that real quick. USC beating Iowa. Caitlin Clark career ends. One of the greatest, if not the greatest. We don't have time to debate that because there's so many good players. Candace Parker, DT, I could go on super, whatever. We could go on that rant for days, but USC beats Iowa by 12. Iowa really is kind of holding their own in the first half, and Gamecocks defense and Don Staley's team just kind of took over on the back half, had some help from the bench. But you guys get a chance to watch that? Any kind of takeaways, thoughts on that game? Overall, the women's tournament was awesome this year, so I hope they can keep building on that momentum.
Yeah, and they'll still have some players with Paige and Juju and all that for next year. But yeah, it was good. The game was good. Both Final Fours were solid. Hester stuff. Um, but yeah, we knew how it was gonna go. I think what it was 11 and a half USC.
It was only 6.5.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I won it.
Yeah.
You're saying the first half or
The full.
oh,
Oh,
full
you're talking
game?
about the win? Oh, I thought you were talking about the line going into it.
Oh yeah, first half, yeah, 6.5, 7.
No, no,
No,
the full game.
yeah, I thought I was talking before tip off what the
Yeah,
line was.
yeah. It was
Oh,
USC
really?
-6.
Damn.
Yeah. I had USC 6.5.
Okay. I thought it was way more. But either way, I mean, they would have covered 11 and a half. But yeah, it was, I mean, I hate to discredit all the other Iowa players, but I mean, we know it was Caitlin Clark versus all of them. So, USC, very solid team, complete undefeated season.
Yeah, that's
Don
crazy.
Staley's fucking awesome, and can't hate that team at all.
Yeah. No, that I mean, good team, like not, like just tough, like not kind of like I don't know, not like in your face, like, hey, we're just gonna like beat the shit out of you. Like, I don't know, like people, with Caitlin Clark kind of talks some shit. LSU is known to talk some shit. It's
I
South
mean,
Carolina's just been quietly
W
beating the
folks.
shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, hey, we don't even need to be in the media. We'll just quietly be. It was like the quietest undefeated season in forever. Like they rolled over teams. I mean, Cardosa, 15, 17, 3 blocks, 2 assists. Like they have freshmen coming off the bench scoring 19 points in a national championship game with Tessa Johnson. Like South Carolina will be back next year, just like UConn. So hey, let's enjoy the ride while we're here. Let's not nitpick and just kind of break down these dynasties because they're just going to roll over you. Don Staley, Dan Hurley, good luck, brother.
Yep.
So, yeah, and then I mean, we'll see a lot of these gals in the pros. I'm looking forward to this like a WNBA draft scene where they all end up.
Yeah.
Next group of this might be like kind of like a golden era for women's hoops right now with how many good talented ladies there are out there.
Yeah.
So let's keep bringing them up, and let's hope that the rest of the country agrees as well. But yeah, hats off to SC Iowa, great season. That's about it I got on the hoops front because it's a little sad last night knowing that was the last half of college hoops I'm going to get until November. You guys know how I am. I was ending on a good hot streak too. So now I just have to turn to other sports to gamble and to win on there. And I think we can do that. And what I'll say, this podcast has fucking range. I mean, we just talked college hoops. You know what we're gonna get into next? We're getting into UFC 300, and then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk about golf because that's what we do. We hit every corner of the sports world. We country club to beating the living shit out of each other off the streets. Like we will street fighting, it does not matter. We will cover it if we can bet on it. So
Oh yeah.
that is that. Max, how do you want to do the UFC 300? There's so many fights. You want to just kind of give us your top picks and then maybe we'll fill in the blanks or um
Yeah.
what do you look? I mean, there's so many. I can't wait. This is
There
gotta
is.
pay for this.
It's
Yes.
a good amount. Yeah, I can kind of just I'll do a juicy parlay to kick it off. Well, juicy, I say juicy, but I always for UFC, I always want to keep my odds steady. I don't like going too crazy. My this is my favorite parlay, actually. I'll just kick it right off the bat. That way I'll keep you guys listening. Well, actually, that probably won't keep you listening. But um, over 3.5 for Max Gaethje in total rounds.
Yes.
These guys have the strongest chins in the whole UFC out of pretty much any division, and they just so happen to be fighting each other. They also are fantastic boxers. So it's gonna be awesome. Give me that 3.5. It's a 5 round, obviously. Then give me just Zhang Weili. She's got like a minus 500 money line, but throw that in there, just straight money line. And then throw in good old Poten Alex Pereira money line. So that gets you 2+226. That's probably my favorite. Great odds all around. Don't really see that not hitting, if I'm going to be 1,000% honest.
Love it.
Another very solid one I like is Diego Lopez, up and comer, just fucking fantastic fighter. Super fun, just great energy all around. I mean, if you really want, he's minus 142. So I don't hate that, just like good old, I'm gonna hammer it, probably just straight. But you can throw in Qatar and Aljamain Sterling over 1.5. So it's at 2.5. But if you just want to push it back a little, over 1.5, which will very well hit, it gets you to plus 108. I think that 1.5 was like minus 400 or something, but gets you that plus money. I like that one a lot. I will be playing good on that as well.
What was the total money line? Sorry, real quick.
Plus 108 for the parlay. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Cool. Continue, sorry.
Again. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? I did. This isn't like a crazy great one, but this is an underdog that with the money he is at and the person he is and just the man, dude, I've seen this dude just embarrass people like Gaethje and Holloway. Like it is awesome. Charles Du Bronx Oliveira
Yes.
plus 195, dude.
Yes.
If there's an underdog that you want to take, it's gonna be Du Bronx, just straight up. I mean, Tersakin is very good, very well. Um, it's gonna be it's gonna be fun because they both are fantastic grapplers. I think that this will be on and off ground control, but they also can strike like a motherfucker. Charles is just a beast. I I can't not, dude. This man, I love him. I love Charles, so he's got that. I'm gonna be definitely putting some good money on that, and plus 195. So I'm saying I'm putting some good money, but for everyone else, just don't be mad if he loses.
Yeah, you're going with the underdog.
But he
Yeah.
ain't gonna fucking lose, dude. I trust
Max.
you. I know those. I know where those underdogs are, and they're gonna be there. Come on, you guys know.
Yep,
Um,
dude, that was exactly what I was hoping for, dude. I was kind of going through the list without getting into detail. I was kind of like, a lot of good favorites I like. And then I looked at Oliveira and I was like, if Max doesn't say anything about Oliveira being money line, I will gladly like bet him on the pod against it. Like Oliveira all day, plus 195. Like, come on, come the fuck
yeah,
on. Let's go. Fuck yeah.
it's so beautiful, dude. It's like I can't even think of a
I mean,
fight
it's like when
where
O'Malley.
a fighter like that comes back, dude. He's a fucking champion. Like he is there. So
Max, what was O'Malley? Remember when O'Malley was fighting? Who was it? It was Sterling, and he was like plus 180, and we hammered like this.
kind of, yeah, it's similar. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's very true.
I got
Um,
vibes. I got vibes. I
just
love
know.
it.
You just know. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I will go. Let's see. We're looking at, you know what? We, we've been talking about women's basketball a good bit. Let's talk about a little women's fighters. I got a fun parlay. Jessica Andrade and Harrison money lines. Harrison, who is a judo gold medalist. This is her UFC debut against Holly Holm.
Yep.
She is a two-time champ in the PFL, and she's going against one of the best women's fighters of all time. Holly Holm's very good, a little older at this point now. She's like minus 400. Harrison is. So I parlayed Andrade and Harrison. Give me that plus 115. Andrade, she's fucking awesome. And I think Harrison, this is the rise of another women's star. So, I mean, judo, dude, judo is a crazy fucking sport. I feel like a lot of people don't know that, but judo is fucking wild. And that's like, just take the shit. She's gonna take the fucking shit down on Holly. Like she's just gonna throw her around and stuff. So it'll be a fun fight. Holly's awesome. I mean, I bet Holly last
Yeah.
year and stuff, but that's a very fun one.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but that would be a good one. I think that's due to hit Andrade and Harrison plus 115.
What do you think about adding just Zhang Wei Li to that parlay and just making it the
Might as well. Well, that probably gets it to like 150.
yeah, let me check real quick. 159.
It's close.
Yeah.
Jane's fucking awesome, dude. She's so funny. She's learning English too, so it's cool. She's like, she started to talk more and stuff. She's funny.
Nice.
But damn it, dude, I could just keep going. I do have something. Let's see. Sep sent me a couple questions, and John, I don't know if you have it up, but he did have a question for you.
Okay.
He said, "What is the fight you're most excited for?" And
What is the
granted,
fight? What is the fight I am most excited for?
yeah, yeah, I know.
Oh, it's the last one.
Yeah, Arab Hill, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be.
I
I
mean,
think it's a great one.
yeah, I'm a Pereira guy. I am. We need him. I need him to bounce back.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. That is bullshit. Um, that was that not Sterling, fucking Adesanya one. I had you.
I have a question for
Well,
what is his and we'll get a response, I guess, maybe this week. What's the fight he's looking at forward to most?
he fucking loves Bo Nickel, and I haven't mentioned him yet.
Yeah, that's the Penn State guy, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Penn
we
State
saw
wrestler.
him.
Okay.
We saw
Yeah,
him in Richmond.
Oh,
he
he's
was
favored by a ton.
yeah. So it's like not even worth it.
Yeah, well, it's fine. He just like lights the guy. Like, okay.
No, I was talking to Sam. No, but yeah, no, he loves Bo. Bo's gonna be an absolute superstar. I can't disagree with him at all. It's awesome. But the one thing on that fight, while we bring it up, Sam, it might be different from yours.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that knockout. Because everything else is so fucking stupid. It's minus 2,000, it's minus 1,200, it's minus 900. Just give me this Bo Nickel knockout at plus 140.
Yep.
Straight up.
I was just gonna ask you. I was
Could
like,
submit him. I think that's minus 120.
yep.
Could submit him, but the boxing that we saw from him last fight against kind of a no name, no disrespect, but disrespect. He can box. We'll hear it.
Yeah.
We'll hear it Saturday night. His mom was a boxer. He's been trained in boxing. He's a fucking national wrestler, whatever he's won. I think he's won the national championship, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he can do it all, but he probably wants to show that he can fight, punch more. Not he can strike and shit. So I don't see why I wouldn't take that. That's the only plus you're gonna get from Bo. So you might as well do it.
Yep. I was gonna ask you between the two, which would you do? Because it's hilarious. It's like minus 120 for that, plus 140 for the other one. But if you combine them and you do a double chance, it's like minus 900.
900.
Yep.
Yep.
You're just like, okay, all right. Well, it seems like it's definitely gonna end early. Right now, you can't do Bo Nickel to win in round one. You can only do him to knock out in round one. So maybe see if that comes about. They're probably not gonna have those odds, if I'll be honest with you. So yeah, that did answer one of my questions. Also cool that we saw him in Richmond, like first fight, and dude, it was like a 30-second fight, and we're just like, oh shit, this guy's gonna be nasty.
Well, yeah, he knocked him
He's on
out.
the main card in UFC 300.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. He
Yeah.
actually walked by us while we were in line.
Yep. Yep.
But
So
yeah, that is close to all. You got Yuri fighting Rakic.
yep.
That's
Yep.
the other. I said I know there's going to be more than one underdog, and the other one's going to be Yuri, plus 100.
Okay. I
And
like
off
that.
loss to Pereira, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. That
yeah.
sounds right.
I had to double check, but yeah, coming off the loss to Pereira, Rakic is very solid, but Yuri's just a different breed, dude. He's one of those guys who're just like, yeah, I don't think I ever really want to run into him. And granted, you don't want to run into most of these guys, even if they're 100 pounds smaller than you, because they're fucking crazy. But even Zhang Weili, dude, she would kick my ass.
Dude, yeah, the fuck they would.
She picked up
Uh,
Shaq. She picked up Shaq.
yeah.
Crazy.
And so, Max, I know you're on. I know you said you got Pereira in a parlay. Anything else you like on that Pereira Hill fight, or maybe I
Dude,
was
fucking throwing a little TKO, why don't you?
okay.
Jamal Hill's such a fuck, dude. He's so annoying. He's such a fucking fat fuck.
I
Like
was gonna
it
say
is
he's been out for
insane.
a while, right?
He's so annoying. Yeah. I fucking he's just annoying as shit, dude. And he's not like he's a decent fighter, but I mean he beat Glover Teixeira, who was like 43 years old for the belt.
Barely, right?
Like, like, yeah. Hey, dude, his legs were fucked. Yeah, whatever. If he's shaking from Glover's leg kicks, you don't want to fucking see what Alex's leg kicks are gonna do. It's gonna be a whole different game. Dude, just take that TKO, fucking KO, DQ straight up, honestly. But that money line minus 130 is not bad at all.
I know. I'm trying to
Oh,
pull up
such a
like
bitch. Dude, he posted something like last Saturday and looked just like fat as fuck. And he's like doing TikToks and just like, God damn it. So annoying.
so I got Pereira a money line and over 1.5 rounds parlay at plus 200. Or do you
I
think
would, dude, I don't.
you don't think it even gets to 1.5
I
over?
just wouldn't even try. I would just,
What
yeah.
about like
Can't
under
do
four?
that. What is the KO?
Okay, yeah, yeah. I was gonna
It's
say
just
so.
a straight up KO because that's
I'll
might as
yeah,
well.
I'll check that real quick. But to help your point, Pereira to win and under 4.5 rounds is plus 115. So if you want a cheap way to get Pereira plus money and you think he's gonna win before,
It's not
but
bad.
yeah, I actually really like that. But let me pull up Pereira by plus 120 for KO, TKO, DQ. Just that alone.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to get him to plus money. That's what I want.
Alex or fucking Hill is a guy I would fuck with. I'm not fucking with Alex Pereira.
Yeah, no, no.
I
Al
don't.
Pereira
I'm
would
not either.
Pereira would take your soul not only in this world but in the underworld, and I don't want that, dude. I want if I die here and I get to live in the underworld, I don't want him taking both of those.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that. Okay, sorry. Any other picks you have? I have a couple questions or maybe thoughts. But wanted to see if you had anything else first.
I might as well because this is the only one I haven't said.
Okay.
Figgy and Cody, first fight of the day.
Yep.
I mean, how is that the first fight of the fucking day?
That's exactly what I wrote. I shit you not.
Figgy Cody, not to go the distance, parlayed with Jalen Turner, money line is plus 123. I don't hate that. I think it was Figgy Cody was minus 175 and Jalen Turner's like minus 123. Um, so
So it's Moicano, Turner to not go, both of them not to go distance.
yeah, that's a little early prelim parlay because it's the beginning and the end. So good to see. And this Bobby Green, I can't not mention Bobby Green. Jim Miller, legend. has fought in UFC 100, UFC 200, and now he's fighting in UFC 300.
Is this his last fight?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
To
That's
knock
what
the distance is minus 115 for that fight alone. I
okay.
think that'd be fun. Bobby's either going to get clopped or Jim's going to get tired and get clopped.
I'm going with Jim on that one. I'm always going to go for the person who it could be their last fight because they literally will leave it on. Over 2.5 at minus 145 also probably is a good parlay piece if that's too juicy for you, right? Maybe? Or you think that's an early knockout one?
No, I think it would probably be like round 3.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see.
40-year-old versus 37. So they're both kind of old. So
Yep. Yep. Okay. So yep, that covered the last couple. Um,
yeah, I think that's all I got.
the only other question I had is on that Sterling, was it Qatar?
Yeah.
Cotter?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Sterling's minus 162, and Sterling has had the belt at times. Do you have any lean on that money line? That's legit the only question I have.
yeah, I think Aljo wins. Um, he is one of the best, if not the best, bantamweight champion there has been. Um, yeah, I think he can handle Calvin pretty well. I want to say probably it's going to be a decision, maybe split,
Okay.
maybe unanimous. But I think both of these guys are known to have some solid stamina and keep going. So I think it'll be a nice decision fight. Um, and there's a chance if Aljo goes, he might get a featherweight title shot. So because I know
Okay.
he
Yeah.
wanted to go to that. But yeah, so it's an interest. There's so many you can talk shit on Calvin and Sterling not being. All right, I don't need to go into that. There's just so much. There's just a lot. It's awesome. So it's gonna be a fantastic Saturday. It does suck, and for most, but definitely for me, I hate having to stay up till 1:30 to watch the very last fight because it is in Vegas. But
I mean, when you get Figgy and
yeah,
Garbrandt at
at 6
6:15,
o'clock.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's like a 7 hour ordeal. And that's if every fight, that's what's crazy. The first fight may start at 6:15. That doesn't mean each fight after is going to be 30 minutes. Like, that's what's crazy. Like
Yeah.
it could go longer. And I mean, I'm gonna try and watch it. I'll try and get my ass over to your house or wherever you
And
guys
I'm
watch it.
buying it, so I'm not
Yeah. So I'll
bringing,
probably come by.
not bringing everyone. Don't.
Yeah, 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 exactly. So yeah, so I like that. I think that was all I had, man. I mean, the Oliveira one, I was like, if I didn't know what you thought, but that was one I really I needed to hear that. And then the other like favorite play I had was that Gaethje Holloway fight because they're gonna beat the fuck out of each other. But that like if you're the bad motherfucker title fight, like you're not going down before 5 rounds.
Yeah. No, exactly, dude. These guys are fucking nuts.
Also,
I mean, this Oliveira fucking Tersakin fight's gonna be fantastic as well.
the one and a
Um,
half, the 1.5 rounds is pretty insane. Like,
for
is Oliveira Sorokin like is
it's
that three?
great.
That's 3 rounds.
Yep.
Oh man,
Usually it's just title fights. They've done like fight night main cards will be like 5, but it's usually just titles.
I was gonna say, why is Gaethje and Holloway a 5?
Bad motherfucker belt,
But that's
motherfucker
is I know it's not like a
belt.
real. I mean, it's a real belt, but like, okay, right.
It's not a divisional belt, but it is a belt.
Okay, hell yeah, cool. I that's smart, dude. That was smart on Dana White's part. Just being like, hey, let's get just like the fucking psychoiest fucking
They
people.
started it with fucking I almost said magical. Jesus Christ. Um
You're in baseball mode.
Yeah, basically.
I still can't think of his fucking name. I'm spacing so hard. Diaz and fucking
Lorette.
Masvidal. Jesus.
Oh, Masvidal.
Jorge. I did we went that he was the fucking but yeah, they started it with that and was like, yeah, well might as well take it further and let's just keep going. So definitely, I mean, he's got some of the best, baddest motherfuckers right now. So I love it. This card, I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, no, 100%. We will be texting offline to figure that part out. Um, that's all I have for picks on that. Shall we move over to maybe what is the complete opposite of a country? Well, we were just on a non-country club sport, and now we're gonna go to the country club and probably the most countryest of country clubs, if we're talking country clubs. And that, my friends, is the Masters. So, hello, friends. Welcome to the Masters Talk. Let's get into this. I'm gonna bring my Jim Nance voice. We're gonna have a nice soothing nap on Saturday evening and a nice nap on Sunday afternoon. So, fellas, uh, fuck that shit. Jim Nance, you're gonna take us through the weekend. Boys, I'm fired up. I know you're fired up. Sean, let's just start with like storylines, questions. Let's get into
Yeah.
that. And then, we got our picks that we always do.
Mhm.
But Sean, just give us the gamut and just just go. I can't wait to listen.
What are you excited
Perfect,
for?
dude. Well,
Tired of talking.
very well said with cue the music. Hello, friends. Welcome to the first major of the year. We've had a few events that we've labeled like, some big dick events here where you get a good group together. That's all nice, but nothing, is like the Masters here, one of the toughest golf courses, most historic golf courses, the pageantry of it all, almost like the Rose Bowl here. And just a loaded field with storylines galore. I mean, so many things. Of course, Scotty Scheffler's been on a tear for really the better half of the last couple years, but it's only bagged one major. It was the Masters 2 years ago. But so, kind of a him versus the field, especially when we'll get into the odds there. Then the John Rahm conversation here goes over to live. And that's a whole other conversation, too. And I'll be the first to kind of admit I was a little uh, kind of speculative or I wanted to see kind of how those live guys would do last year, kind of maybe not challenging themselves, and they were fantastic. I think at the end of the day, the really good players will be ready when it comes to the Masters. They'll have a little bit giddy up there. They had some good performances, but I think it'll be interesting to see how Rom plays. And then, I mean, gosh, there's so many things here. We have Rory, who just like is trying to get it done, trying to complete that grand slam of majors. Is now what his 17th Masters, looking to tie Brooks to get to 5 majors there. Brooks as well, a guy we don't get to see a lot here. A lot of guys coming in playing very well. Decky, Xander has seen himself near the top of the leaderboard there. Wyndham Clark, of course, coming in
Mhm.
very well here. Some guys who aren't playing so well, like a Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, there to say to a few. So a couple new timers as well. They usually don't do so well on their first time around Augusta. I'll get just away from the just when we watch like Augusta here. I mean, one, the first thing is how breathtaking it is. Everything is so green and lush there. And the one thing they'll keep talking about it, but it's hard to come across on the coverage is how the slopes are. And maybe you've played a course like this before where you're in the fairway and there's almost never a ball that's like directly at your feet level. It's a little below, it's a little above. I think one of the reason why guys, of course, the history, but why they love playing the Masters is how creative you have to be to shape shots there. I think I remember once, I forget what it was, maybe the Puerto Rico a couple years ago, where John Rahm was caught on the hot mic being like, it's a fucking putting contest. And some of these courses, I mean, the guys are so good now, and the technology, with the driver is so good that it's just bomb it as far as you can, and then just wedge it into the green. And, do you make your putt on a birdie fest? This is exactly not that. This is, one of the best tests of golf out there with like a St. Andrews and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I think there's a lot of, I mean, almost hero and villain type guys out there as well. I don't think it'll be as much this year, but of course, there's still a little bit of that live divide out there. I mean, there's even Tiger and Phil, here too.
Yeah.
Tiger is going to try to break a record here of most consecutive cuts made at the Masters. I think it would be 23 in a row. And maybe that's a good way to segue in. The Masters a little bit different than the other majors, and we're going to want to think about this when we bet. Very similar to when we bet these signature events earlier, where, remember, kind of normal field. If this was like the PGA Championship, 150 guys teeing off, kind of 75 making the cut there. I mean, that's a lot of variance. A lot of just kind of anyone could sneak up there. Masters, just like Augusta, very kind of not just letting anyone in. It's a 90, actually, I think it's technically an 89-man field. So it's usually 90, only 50 in ties make the cut. But what that means is, because it's hard scores and because 50 and ties, making the cut isn't as challenging here as it is at some other places. Another thing to remember about the Masters is those automatic qualifiers. So bring that up real quick. Like, we think about VJ Singh, Mike Weir, Fred Couples, Zach Johnson. Could these guys have a good 2 days and make the cut? They could. But once we start doing the math, already, most of the good players are going to make the cut. Then you factor in, okay, of the 89 players, 10 are just, they're just out there because they accept the invitation. They're probably not going to make the cut. So something we'll get into there a little bit, but I'll stop for a second. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I
So,
mean,
any storylines from you guys?
yeah, I mean, shoot, and I had to just, step out for a quick sec, but Scheffler, shortest odds since 2009, at plus 450. If you had to guess who that was in 2009 and you can't get it, then you won't be listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, or you were just listening to Max's UFC, and maybe you peeled out. Maybe there's a couple guys Max might know that might have peeled out. Yeah, exactly. Maybe. So yeah, so I had that live guys, and then the one guy I wanted to kind of, I guess I don't know if I want to
Well, there's just throw. Let's talk. There's a lot of guys
okay.
here.
I was gonna say
I got a bunch of names I want to just us to discuss quickly
okay.
too. But go for it first. Maybe each of you
So
put out a guy you want to just discuss.
yeah, and it's mostly because I didn't realize he hasn't won a major yet. And that's Patrick Cantlay,
Right.
and so I was gonna just kind of gauge your opinion. It just like, I know he's kind of that villain. This just seems like a really, like, I don't know, man. Like,
Mhm.
it seems like a good one for Cantlay to like kind of come up in. Usually I like him more towards like the I always like kind of pick him around the US Open just because it's always like a different course. And so like you never know. I'm like, okay, like I think what was the US Open was in LA this year, right? This past
Last year was in LSU.
yeah. So like I had Cantlay, I think, in that one because I was like, okay, like UCLA or Cal. Is it
UCLA Bruin.
right? UCLA Bruin, that's what it is. I knew it was one of the Californias. But I'm like, okay. Didn't realize he has not won a major yet. And he
And he's won maybe almost double-digit tour events already in a not like a crazy long career.
no,
Like, he
exactly.
is the, this trying to like think of a good comp here.
Who's due?
Like
Like
the
that's
Buffalo, he's a very Buffalo Bills-ish, just going to run, not only just beat a bunch of teams in the regular season, but just run through the regular season, and hasn't been able to kind of put it together quite there. Now, Sim, just because hey, it's the Masters preview here. We're gonna make sure we bring some numbers, some data boys here. In the past like 5 Masters, Patrick Cantley is ranked in like tee to like off the tee, I think like third, like iron shots like seventh, wet like essentially his like strokes gained have been almost like top 10 in every category, but his putting is like 63rd in that, which is odd because he's not like a historically bad putter. Now, it's not like the best part of his game, but putting as much as anything else could be a week to week, do you get hot with the putter? Wyndham Clark a lot of times just gets crazy hot with the putter and starts raining birdies in from Mars, from where the sun was the other day. So also one thing too, Sam, with Cantley, when's the last time you've seen him this far down? And now again, it's just because we're now with Liv and there's only a few majors a year, we don't get like always the best slew of players in one event. But like, I mean, he's below Tony Finau. The only
Right.
reason Tony Finau is up there is because he's really good course history.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Okay. Okay. I like that.
I mean, how about if we have Cantlay? How about his buddy Shoffley, who also has not won a major,
Yep. Yep.
but does have a better. In fact, he probably would have won the 2019 Masters if it wasn't for one of the most cool historic moments all in golf with Tiger Woods there, and he's had a few top 10, so he's sniffed around. But that's a guy too that I know we joke around with like the lower players, the Kitayambas and stuff, but like Shoffley is does everything correct from the data side of things, other than just finishing, like the non-quantitative thing.
Yep.
But how about talking about having won a major, but not even close to more of the where those like was kind of maybe talked in a negative connotation. Will Zalatoris, with like a sample size, and you could throw Cam Young in here too. The
Yep.
amount of like runner-ups and top tens in majors for only having played like 6 of them so far is crazy. For those who don't know, of course, he missed a lot of last year from an injury. I'm sure he probably isn't still all the way 100% back. Hasn't played that many events. Went out and played the Genesis, which a lot of bettors will kind of use as a good comp to this course here. Lit it up out there, finished second. Of course, has finished second, in this event before. So another guy to kind of keep an eye on there. Another guy too with longer odds than I would have thought. Probably just because he hasn't played a bunch of golf over recently.
Okay. Okay. And you might have touched on it a little bit, so forgive me if I already went through it. Any other, and we'll get into like specific odds, but in terms of incorporating live into a Masters, anyone that you're kind of like, like they're ready, or maybe someone who might be hot on the live tour that's been
Yeah.
playing well that we need to look out for?
So 2 great questions. Where one guy, I don't care at all what he's playing. Um, Patrick Reed is loves this course. And
Cheater?
he's the freaking villain, like too. And Patrick Reed, the guy who's always getting in trouble, doing like illegal things on like with drops and stuff like that. He's won this event before. He's an automatic pick for top 30 for me. If that's a little bit juicy, maybe find the 20 in ties there. I could care less what he's done in his last 3 live events. Love the Patrick Reed play here at the Masters. And if we want to actually use some kind of recent live play here, Joaquin Niemann went on a tear this spring on the Live Tour, winning 2 or 3 events. One thing to remember too is Koepka won the last live event before the Masters last year, so maybe some sort of correlation there to playing hot. But Niemann's a guy that actually threw some bones on outright about a month back. Let me
Okay,
see who
good.
did win Live
Was
Durant.
I in even?
That was who I was hoping. I knew I had a feeling because I was like, I bet Sean's top 20, 40, whatever we do, like whatever the top 30 or 40 was going to be. I knew it was going to be Patrick Reed. So I assumed that
Yeah,
was
I
wanted to
won't
hear
have it in
about
the one
Neiman.
that we do, but I have like some alternatives that I just want to throw out there to try to help the folks.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No, I like it. I'm
That's good.
actually
P
pulling up.
Reed, baby, always P Reed.
Yeah, I'm pulling up our template from the last tournament so I can fill it in as we go. And then I guess other story is just like Tiger Phil. I know like
Yeah.
odds wise
But
make
I don't know if you got Phil shot 7 under on Sunday to finish tied fourth uh last year. I mean, that was incredible. If Phil does it again, like, and does it as being like makes the cut and maybe finishes like 25th, like at 53, it's fun because the guy shoots like 81, like on like live round two at, not like your local municipal, but like not Augusta. He could wake up after a bender, play this course, and still shoot like even par. There's just sometimes you're just a horse for course, and Bill is kind of that
I'm
for
glad
the Masters.
that's a
That's
really
plus
good pre.
110 to make cut.
Yep.
He's what?
Plus 110 to make the cut.
Yeah.
And I have a potential prop. I might
Oh, I already have
Yeah, I
it.
got I yeah, I got a ton of some props
Oh
for
no, I'm
Make it
saying
later.
relative to Phil.
Oh,
Relative.
Oh,
do you
okay.
want to just say now?
I'm
Or do you want to say it?
I'm looking up I'm confirming the number because I looked at it earlier today and then I was like, all right, let me write that down. I'll get
Mhm.
back to it. So we can definitely get into that. I mean, Tiger Phil, those were kind of the stories. Liv, Scheffler.
Can I get something else out there too?
Please.
So weather looks beautiful Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like 85% chance of thunderstorms Thursday morning. So that could screw things up. But if it ends up not being like thunderstorms, but still like rain, like at the end of the day, sometimes you just get screwed on where you are on the draw. It doesn't hurt to kind of take a look at what time, your guy tees off and, look at some of the later rounds where like Scotty tees off at, no, he's outside of this conversation.
Right.
Ain't nothing going to stop that guy. But like, if you're worried about, Rory in some tough conditions, then might I show you like, I'll give like a guy that I'll talk a little bit about later, like Brian Harmon at one of the last rounds, or Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth, uh, uh, it'll be fun to watch. I don't even want to like discuss on it because this is the guy that has won in 2015, essentially for 5 straight years, finished like within T12. Like does not probably get talked about enough. More just because he's now kind of fallen from grace a lot, and it's more just to make fun of his card. Which, like, if anyone, even most people probably didn't see, but last Thursday, on the same round, he had an ace, in a seven. Like it was all over the place. All over the place to finish +1.
Jeez. All that work just for that, man.
Yeah.
Also, Sean, just I know we've already gotten into it, but what's your like as so I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty loyal to DraftKings. And I know they can be shitty at times with golf odds. I know Max is pretty religious to DraftKings as well. If we had to brand this podcast, I would say we're definitely more DraftKings family. However, we want to get the best odds for our bets. So, is there a place that you
Yeah.
recommend for golf bets and what
So I've
kind of
found the best golf bets tend to be from, if you're in Virginia, Bet 365. Um, like DraftKings, if you like, just the wording's weird. This dead heat tie. So in other words, you bet who's my boy Ludwig Aberg top 20, and he finishes T14, but T14 might have 9 guys at it. So technically, it's fucking math. So 23 guys are in the top 20. You are now not necessarily, you were losing part of your winnings because wasn't one, it wasn't 20 guys that finished within or he wasn't ahead of technically 20 guys. He was ahead of whatever 23 there in the tie. There are some other places like Bet 365 that for golf do. I forget the way that they word it here, but I mean, like one is just look for including ties. I mean, that's simple enough. but also you can do these bets where what is that? I forget. It's like E/W. So let's just say if you bet Scotty outright to win. And you get the odds there, and you can double, like it's almost like playing blackjack, and you can like double up your wager, and then there's a next bracket after it. It'll be like 1 through 5 or 1 through 10 or 1 through 8, and then a fraction next to that. And essentially, if even if he doesn't win, if he gets like in that 1 through 4, then you win whatever that fraction quarter of your money there. So it's a way to almost play like a top 10, but like, hey, if I end up picking the winner, like I want to get rewarded for picking the winner, not just my top 10 odds there.
Yep, I love that.
It's kind of, I probably didn't explain that too well there, but I think if you read it there, it's a little bit easier to explain.
So Sean, like a couple of weeks ago when I had Wyndham Clark, I probably would have won more than just the number divided by 3 or whatever you're saying, or
possibly that I don't. That's more for like
first
bigger
round
bets,
leader
like top
versus
finishes
top
and
20.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
yeah, I would just say, like, if you're just in DraftKings, like just be aware of that when like the worst is T20. It gets better at T30 and T40 because the scores are going to kind of differ out. But I find a lot of the times that there'll be enough in that kind of teens to low 20 range that have the same score that like there's rarely a time where if you're like T15, 16, 17, 18, that there isn't more than 20 guys technically in that, at that number and better. Yeah.
Okay.
So just be aware, like, because you'll get less odds if you do the 20 in ties, but like it could save you a lot. Especially again, like a course like the Masters. I want to like if we're saying,
Leader's going to be what,
like
like
we're saying
5
80,
under,
like
maybe?
ABC exactly where the leader is 19 under. This isn't an issue because there's so many scores, like it's spread out. But if in the Masters, where maybe the leader's at 12, the next guy's at 8, and then like third is at like -7, like between like -5 and +5 might be 40 something players.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm trying to think if there's any other like storylines or like big things before we get into the bets. I mean, I have so many props. I know
I would say let's just get into it because if we go over something and we need to talk about it, I'm sure we will.
Okay. All right. Do we want to go with like random props first, or we want to go with like the
Let's say
outright
let's go with our that little like the
outrights top
kind of
20?
thing we do, and then we'll get it. Then everyone just kind of spray their other best bets. Also, let's make sure like for this, and we can talk about if we want some sort of prize for it, but so that not just everyone picks Scotty Scheffler outright winner. Of course, you can like it's on your what am I drawing a blank here? Like on the units that you'd win here. Like, so if you get Scotty,
Yeah.
you get the like plus 450 units. And if you hit
Versus
like, a 2,800, of course you get all those units.
Yep. And I have that in an Excel thing. I just need to do like that last bit of math on that for like all season.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I guess we can just start from now.
Yeah, yep, and I'm pulling this up on that. So yeah, so just for people, anyone listening, outright top 20, top 30. If anyone's got a first round leader, I always do. And then any head to head and props. We can just throw that in there.
Yeah. So
So
we'll do our outright 20 and 30, like kind of in a
yeah, and
like in a almost like a snake draft here, and then we can just start per
Yep.
person spraying out their other bets.
All right, birthday boy.
If that sounds good.
Outright.
What's up?
I said birthday boy. Outright. Go.
I just give me like a guy who's not even been playing that well, doesn't have like a crazy even good record here, but it's screw it. A guy can he's won a major before, so he knows what it's like. Does well under pressure. I love the number I'm getting it at. Give me Matt Fitzpatrick at plus 4,000.
Oh, I might. This is probably the longest.
Yeah. Now, can I then also like after I give my whatever that slot, some other like that I've actually bet?
So that's your pick, and then some other bets you have. Is that what you're
So
saying?
just like at that exact range, like for like because I played I had two other outrights like already.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was confused at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries. Um, I guess I can do that later because I don't want to take
No,
anyone's
no,
thunder.
no, no.
No, no,
Just
no, no.
throw 'em. Just throw them
Okay.
out.
I mean, like I do actually have a like I got Hideki at plus 25. I see he's at plus 20 right now, and I've Joaquin at plus 22. Although that it looks like I got it worse where it is now.
So I don't want to ruin anything, but I know you've already placed them. Where did you place them by
So I
chance?
placed those two at DraftKings.
Okay. So I'll just throw this out there and I apologize now for not throwing it out. ESPN Bet has a promo that if you throw three, it doesn't matter, up to three $25 or more Masters tournament outright bets. If you bet on, we'll just say Fitzpatrick for the sake of example, you bet on Fitzpatrick and he doesn't win, but he finishes top 10, you get a portion of your money back. And so you have,
Oh, so that's almost kind of like what we were saying at Bet 365.
yeah. But like it's like a promo. So like you can win at up to X amount, but you can bet three people on that. Um, so just wanted to let you know because I know you said you got some other people. So I was like, well, shit, if he's got multiples, then maybe throw that out there. But yeah, so you got Fitzpatrick at plus 4,000. You got Matsuyama at what was that? You got him
I'll just say what it's at right now. Because that
25.
doesn't do anything for us. Matsuyama right now is at plus 2,000. When I did get him in, it was at plus 25. And then I took also Joaquin Neiman, live boy, who, if he was playing on the PGA Tour, would probably be in the top 10 or top 12 world rankings. He's plus 2,800 to 1 right now. And I do, of course, because I will be there for the first win of this year. I did, of course, sprinkle Ludwig, but that's just a default play.
Yeah. No, you have to, man. It's your guy. It's your
Yeah,
guy.
I'm gonna be there for when it happens.
Masuela, where are you going with your outright winner?
I am gonna go good old live boy Brooks Koepka. I don't know. I feel like he can do this. Obviously, you want to go Scotty, but with that odds, I mean, I want something a little bigger. So give me that Brooks. Hopefully, he can come out and just play nice and crisp, keep it going, and at least compete on Sunday. I hope he can at least be competing, but
It,
I like that
if
a lot.
Brooks plays like competitive, like top 15 in this tournament, he might be the only guy who like doesn't really need like competitive practice. Like he might actually have like this internal switch to just say it's major season. I'm ready to go.
Exactly. I love it. I love to hear that. So, yeah.
Oh, Sammy's still there.
Yep. Oh yeah, sorry. Let's see. Sorry, I was trying to get that. You said Kepco's at 1,800.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um, Honestly, I wanted to see what you guys said. I love the Kepka. I also love the Matty Fitz. I also had Neiman. So I was trying to decide whether I wanted to do I was just trying to decide if I wanted to do, a live guy, a PGA tour guy. I wasn't sure. Um, I'm still
Guy
torn.
that isn't either.
Well, the worst part is that Spieth, his little wrist injury, I actually was getting ready to go back to Mr. Spieth
Yeah.
until I started reading more about his wrist injury. So I was kind of like, all right, like no way Rom goes back to back, right? I'm like, Scheffler can't, he won't do it. Um, you know who's a guy who's been really fucking close, who's been right there at the end of it all, who he swings differently than most of us, and by most of us I mean everyone in this podcast. He swings with his left hand, and he's from the University of Georgia, I believe.
Oh,
I love me some Brian fucking Harmon.
yes.
I love me some Brian Harmon. Sean, you hit on him earlier. Dude, he's due. I know the Masters is about it's about
Guy's a killer.
guy is a killer. I'm ready for the waggle count on Sunday. Give me the waggle count.
To
Give
drive
me
people
all the beans.
insane.
I don't know, man.
Hey,
The more I
dude,
think about it, it's like it's kind of one of these things where like I have a list. I had a list of one, two, three, about 15 guys, and I slowly crossed every about an hour. I would cross a guy off. Bryson's not due. Cam Smith, could he? Yeah. Terrell Hatton, yeah. DJ, maybe. I don't know. Burns, also due. Cam Young, also due. Matsuyama, I hit him like 4 years ago in the Masters. That was the best win I think I've still had to this date, if we're talking odds wise. Max and I, Max, you remember this. Thursday morning, we hammered Matsuyama. I know you remember that. I know you
Oh
remember that.
yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
And I love Matsuyama. So, Sean, I'll get to Matsuyama later. But out of just like respect to who's there, the only other two that I was deciding between were Schauffele and Mr. Victor Hovland. I feel like Hovland's been playing like shit. I've been hearing about how he's not been playing well. I was tempted to take him. I love Schauffele too. They're both due. Uh, you know what? Give me Brian Harmon. He's from Georgia. Give me just all the Georgia. Yeah.
it's incredible
No.
how like I have no idea why his odds are as low. Him at minus 110 for top 30 is my favorite bet on the like I would just get it out now is my favorite bet in the entire like play like this week other than just me having to do the Patrick Reed bet. I'll even do one more like while we're on him, I'll spill beans on one of my props pits. Brian Harmon top lefty at plus 165. And there's only like four other lefties, and none of them are anywhere as good as Brian Harmon.
That was close. It was as close to my lock of the weekend as physically possible. And I'll get to that later, but I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I love the support. Yeah, love me some Brian Harmon on that. And I don't want to drill down into outright too much because we still have the rest of the picks to go. So, oh shit. We're not gonna do a snake on this one.
Yep.
We're not doing a snake because there's so many golfers, like there's no reason to do a snake. And also I'm hoping that you guys help me make my decision on 30 because I love the Harmon one so much. So Sean, ring us back with your T20 bet.
T20, I'm going Russell Henley, a guy who is not too famous, but like always up there in kind of like strokes gained each year. Has a top 10 finish in the Masters. Has a couple of pretty good finishes, I believe, in the Masters. I need to go back through his last year, but plus 150 at top 20. Russell Henley almost got a win when they were. Where is that? Shoot, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. So he's in some good form right now. Yeah, just shoot Russell. There's a lot of things that we can involve Russell Henley in, but he's my top 20.
I love it. Love it. Max, where are you going with yours?
Sean, you went who again? I'm
I
sorry.
went Russell Henley.
Okay. I'm gonna go Victor Hovland plus 120. Hopefully his irons are a little hot. He can keep that going. But I just feel like every Masters he kind of sits around that 20 mark, gets up a little to like the 10, but give me that all day. I love Hovland, especially
I'm
in some good
glad
old.
you brought that up because that's like kind of I think a storyline here is Holland, who's had a ton of success at Augusta. A guy that after last year, after winning the FedEx Cup, we were ready to be like, he's going to be the one to challenge Scotty at 1 and has just not been good this year. Now,
Yeah.
that's again, none of that can matter. And we get to this week. If he turns it on, then you look, so smart. And then for me, it's weird. It's a good storyline there.
Yeah.
Like you would have to think after last year, you could get him at these numbers.
Right. That's exactly.
So like that's fine. Yeah. Some guys just do just the majors mean so much more.
Exactly.
Yep. I like that a lot. So for T20, I was gonna go with the juiciest motherfucker there is, and based on our odds with Matsuyama at T20, I will play that personally. But for the sake of value and anyone who's listening, I'm gonna go with the guy I've been loving on. He hit me with a first round leader. Guy's been playing good fucking golf, and I'm not gonna question it. Wyndham fucking Clark. I have him at plus 130 for T20. I If that's still the case, I think I might just black out and put my entire mortgage on him to do T20, and I'll just deal with that come Sunday morning. But that's how confident I feel about Wyndham Clark. Guy's been playing good golf. I mean, that's it. Just yeah.
Dude, I mean, there's maybe 2 players in the world who've been playing better golf in the last 2 months than Wyndham Clark.
Yep.
I think the only reason his odds are where they're at is he's one of the first timers this year. This
Yep.
is his Masters, but I think his game travels. To use other sports analogy like here. Yeah, I love that.
I like it. I like it. All right. So now we are in. So are we? So before we get into T30, is it confirmed everything's good on DraftKings T30? Like, I don't want to give. I'm happy to give T40 if that's easier. But
No. Let's just do the 30, and as long as your guy finishes T30, like you get your full out bet. Like as long as all of us get the same chance.
yeah, totally. Okay, cool. All right. Well, Sean, hit us with your T30 then, my brother.
All right, I
What's
will
up, brother? What's up, brother? Special
What's
teams,
up?
special plays, special players.
Oh man. I will go Sahid. We go Thigala. He played pretty well in his first Masters last year. He's been playing well this year. I just think it'd be an awesome story if like he's kind of up there on the front page of the leaderboard like Saturday afternoon. And yeah, man, I don't need him to go nuclear. But I think this could be a pretty comfortable win here. It's minus 125, and let's just take those winnings and move on with my man Sahid.
Like it. Can you remind me, Sean, real quick? What were the Henley odds at?
Plus 150.
Yep. Thank you, sir. All right, Max, where are you going with T30, my brother?
Dude, I was conflicted. There's a guy that I want, but I'll mention him after. I'm gonna go Shane Lowry, minus 140, right at the threshold. But I think this is a guy where you see, and he will be sitting at like kind of like that 15 coming into a Sunday at Augusta. So I don't know. Something about him has been calling my name, and I think a T30 is perfect. The T20 is a little scary. But get those extra.
I'll tell you something why it's calling your name, Max. The last 4 times Shane's played the Masters, he's finished 25th or better.
Perfect.
That's why.
All I needed to hear.
I dig it.
I love it. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Hey, he's always sitting right there. Perfect.
I'll be honest. Everyone's kind of hit some stuff that I really like. Like that. Made it harder, but for T30, I'm gonna go with a guy who I rode earlier. He's a guy that I love for a first round leader, not to precursor too much. However, I think he's still gonna play some good golf. T30 is still doable. Give me Cam Young. T30 minus 125. Right, kind of in that threshold. I like it. I think realistically, he might be come Friday, Saturday. He might be in that T10, and then a tough Sunday pin position might put him out of that. But um, yeah, I like that squad a lot. And then obviously we've got our first round leaders, our head to heads, and any other props anyone likes. But Sean, you got any first round leaders, or you want to throw out a prop,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
at this
sure. I
point,
do.
whatever you want?
I have Matsuyama as first round leader.
Yep. That part.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty guy who's just playing well right now, and of course has played very well and won this event.
500.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Max, any first round leaders from you?
No first round leaders, but we kind of already touched. I will be putting money on Tiger to make cut at -115.
Yep. Yeah.
Those odds are just too good. If it was plus money, I'd still do it, but if it was a little lower, I don't know. But -115 seems perfect for me, so I love that a lot.
Yep. I like that. I'm still on the Cam Young train, 40 plus 45.
Yeah, yeah.
First time, first round leader, plus 4,500. Another guy like who's lesser odds, but also very capable. I like Schauffele at plus 2,200.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I, I like him to have just like a good day, and then the last one, and it's because I bit my butt open with this one because I said it, I didn't bet it. It was Victor Hovland.
Mhm.
I can't remember what tournament it was, but Victor Hovland plus 3,500. Him and Cam Young are the same boat when it comes to first round leaders. Like these guys could go 8 under and then just
I,
piss the whole
I
weekend.
was just gonna say, man, Victor's year has been like, if you just watch Thursday, like you think he's playing the exact same golf, and then like kind of just fizzles out those next 3 days. So I get him while he's hot.
Exactly. And bet 365, so you don't gotta split that bitch. Um, but I really like that. So Sean, you had Matsuyama. I am gonna with my like official pick, I'm going Cam Young at that
Okay.
45. Max, you said you do or don't have first round
Don't
lead.
uh, no.
Okay, okay. All right.
Scheffler plus 1,200.
Yeah, right. I mean, shit, dude.
Scheffler never leads after the first round.
He
No, no.
doesn't, dude.
He'll be like tied for second, though.
Yeah,
He'll be like,
yeah,
if you get him a T, but the thing is, it's not worth it. Like you do that first round position, and then he's like T10 is like plus 110, and you're like, what the fuck? So he's got to shoot like 4 under or better to like, and then you look at his round odds, and his round odds aren't even. It's like -120 to like go under 75, and you're like, what? Like, there's no way he's gonna do both then. So that's how they get you. Um, okay. Any props, matchups, anything like that you guys have?
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah, go.
All right. So just some good, some round one stuff here. If we want to kind of result a bet, after the first, of course, after the first day. Where's my matchups here? Okay, so on the three balls, I like Thornburg Olson over Bryson and Gary Woodland at plus 210. There in the
Okay.
first. Bryson, Bryson, that talk about a guy who's just gonna be fun to watch, like back under the spotlight again. But this course is not so great for his kind of bomber style there. Now he could go out and totally screw me here, but I like the odds that Gary Woodland not playing so good golf this year, and Olson's solid player, and he's did well in the last week too. So if nothing else, he's hot. Same, of course, Cam Young in his round one three balls plus 150. And he's got
Round one, 3 balls. I didn't
yeah.
realize you were doing round one, Sean. Damn.
Well,
Okay.
because it's the Masters. I got both these were round one three balls.
Fair, fair.
I got one long tournament one, and I'm sorry, Max. I mean, I guess you have both of them. I have Kepka over Hovland at -120.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I really like this parlay to everyone to make the cut. Certainly some guys we've heard already from me, but Fitzpatrick, Brooks Kepka, Sahith, and Cam Young all to make the cut is +124. So unless any of them really
Oh shit.
feel pretty good, that all that pretty chalky, is plus money there.
I do
Sam,
like
that was Fitz, Brooks, Sahith, and Cam Young. Sam had already touched on Brian Harman, top lefty at +165.
Yes. Hammer. Hammer that.
Run right there. Let me see real quick. The other lefties are Akshay, because he just got in. Bubba Watson and Mike Weir. Oh yeah, I mean, I love that.
Oh yeah, we're hammering, dude.
Yeah, and then let me one more here because we can't go this entire time and not touch on him. Scotty Scheffler, top former winner at +140. So of course, he's got let me see, of course, who is in the so I mean, Rom, Hideki, Spieth, Reed. So essentially, this is just my bet to get in the Scheffler action, but I really just don't want to only lay +450 for an outright win when I can get him against, less than a quarter of the field at +140. And I'm kind of suspicious on how Rom's gonna play. He might totally make me look like an idiot here, but I like it.
that.
So
Fair.
Dude, I don't hate that. I don't hate that one bit.
yeah. Of course, like I usually always play like a Corey Connors top 30 here. Ben on and JT the postman posting, or probably a couple other guys that I'll play like in the 40 range, but that's pretty much good for me.
Okay. Okay. Max, anything from you?
No. Well, yes, not.
I was gonna say I have so much. I might just take the last 30 minutes. So you
I
go ahead.
like. I mean, Scotty T5 is +105. I mean, if you think he's gonna do very well but still not win, I mean, dead heat's probably gonna fuck you over around that range. But I don't hate that at all. You get a little plus.
Yeah, I mean, you capture like the solo third there or whatever.
Yeah. Don't hate that. Brooks alone just T20 is -125. That's a solid one I liked. And then the last one, who I was thinking about T30, but I don't know. We'll see. Sahith at -125 for T30.
Yep.
I do like that. I love Sahith. He's the man. Um, better than
Sean, play that too.
Yeah, I have the site that top T30.
Okay, I was gonna say.
you really?
Yeah.
That's in my play. Yeah,
Oh shit, my bad. But
that's
yeah,
all right.
No, you're good.
like that. Because I
I'm
looked
glad.
at
I'm glad you like it too.
when we were looking at when I was looking at DK and I was like, well, they don't have the fucking T30s. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just do Sahith T20 at +160.
Uh,
That's another one where I was like, well, I mean that if you want to risk it a little bit, I think I don't know, but yeah, those were the only three that I had.
like it. I like it. The only other first round leader I was tempted to do, and it was more just like a psycho bet. Knowing you both know me, I'm a bit of a head case on my own. So I ride with Spieth a lot because, brother in arms, we do it together. Plus 3,000. But if we're talking like matchups, things like that, I have so many extra props here. So let me like get rid of those, like the actual picks. I've got brother. All right. Do you want me to stop? Like, I'll just go and then just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Once you get to like, all right, I'll give you the threshold here. Once you're like, oh, is fucking
Just give us
this
5 minutes.
guy gonna
Dude,
beat this
hey,
guy
let's
in
5 minutes,
round
and
one? Like,
we'll get out of here.
Okay. All right. Ready? Go.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll put the timer on for you.
okay. Make the cut parlay. I have Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Matsuyama, and Brooks at plus 125 on DraftKings. All
Say it
gonna make
again.
the play. It's Cantlay, Clark, Matsuyama, Brooks.
Okay.
Yep. That's a no-brainer. Fun play. Scheffler wire to wire. 28 plus 2,800. Why not?
Nice. And for those who don't know, wire to wire would be he leads after every single round.
Yep. Another one. Neiman under 72.5 for first round score, minus 135. I think Neiman shoots under 72.5. I think he shoot 72.5 is par, is it not?
72 is par. So,
Yeah.
so he
Yep.
just
So he's gonna shoot under par. He will shoot.
And again, if we get rain early, it softens the course up. For us, we think of rain usually bad. That's actually kind of better for these guys. They'd rather this course
Earlier guys.
greens play a lot softer.
Yep, agreed. Cantlay also under 72.5, minus 110. Brooks top 10, round one. I don't see Brooks leading the first round. I see him being in contention. I see Brooks at like a 3 under. Good round. He's right at that top 10 plus 300. Give me that. Phil, top senior, minus 140. I think it's basically him, I think it's him. I don't even know if Tiger's considered. I
Probably
think
not. It's probably like him, Couples.
Sergio.
I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yep. So he should win that. He should. Sean, you're gonna love this one. Corey Connors, top Canadian, plus 110. Give me that.
Now, look out for a
Nick
Nick
Taylor?
Taylor, Adam Hadwin, but
Yep.
of course.
They're in the 260 range. I like Connors at my plus 110. If
Okay.
he was anywhere in the minus, I wouldn't take
Yeah,
it.
then you stay away. I like it
Yep,
too.
but the fact that he's plus
No,
one.
it's again just a math play. Like this event should happen, and you're getting plus money.
Yep, agreed. Live player to win the Masters plus 225. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, you have some pretty good options.
Yep. And then all right, we're getting into matchups and then like three balls and shit. Sean, I don't even need to ask you, but just for the sake of it, Max, you can answer too. Ludwig over Mr. Bryson DeChambeau in a tournament matchup.
Take it. Let's do it.
Minus
I'm
120.
looking for a T20 to solidify himself as a big dig player here from Ludwig.
Minus 120. I think that's great value. To piggyback on the Canadian thing, Corey Connors over Max Homa. I know
not a horse for course. No disrespect for Homa. We hope this is the year. Doesn't play well here.
Yep, that's kind of where I was at. I love this one. Wyndham Clark over Finau plus 100.
Oh, I ain't gonna play that. I think Finau's getting way too much.
Yep, agreed. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Anyone doubting Wyndham Clark can suck my fucking balls, dude. Like, this guy's on fire and he's ready to go. He's dialed in. I'm not saying he's gonna win the Masters. I can promise you, come Saturday afternoon, it's gonna be like, man, he could really have a good Sunday and really put himself in a good position. Not saying he's gonna be leading, but he's gonna have an opportunity to put himself in a good position.
The meme right now. Oh no, you're gonna make me bet more on Wyndham Clark.
Yes, good. This one, I don't think you guys will ride with me, but it's just a matchup one based off what I've already heard. But I like DJ over Tagala at minus 110.
Fuck you.
No, this is strictly like
We're pumping up size stock too much.
The biggest thing is that I'm gonna be mad if Dustin Johnson has a great weekend and he just kicks Tagala's ass and he'll be like, well, DJ has been a great golfer over time. It's not Mahomes level, but it's like, okay, I'm not even thinking about numbers. This is not a numbers play. This is strictly like DJ and Tagala on a coin flip. Give me DJ on a coin flip. And I totally get the numbers. I understand what you guys are saying. So this is more hilariously now because you guys already put that, but it's like, nah, I'm just gonna go with DJ because he likes to, have himself a weekend and play well at the Masters every once in a while. But I sense Sean's looking up some research right now to combat that. And
No, I wanted to kind of, I mean, like I think Sahith will play better, but I was going to. We don't see DJ anymore. He doesn't want to be in the light, but DJ has the same amount of PGA Tour wins as Rory McIlroy. Um, he has won. Now he won the kind of fluky Masters that was in the fall from COVID, but
yep,
still beat 90 other players who were playing the exact same conditions there. So, if there's again a guy almost like Phil who could wake up after a tough weekend and probably still play pretty well, DJ is one of those guys.
Yep.
Now,
Yep. That's
no,
honestly that's a
we don't
really
love
good
the
way to
audience
put it.
guy, but all right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like DJ could, yeah, he could wake up hungover off an 8 ball and still find his way to a 71.
Good.
And then attorney group, Sean, we already talked about Brian Harmon, but I just want to bring attention to this one specifically. It's a attorney group, and it is a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. Odds are obviously higher. However, Brian Harmon to beat the following, and just for reference, to beat the following is at plus 330. So it's plus 330 to beat Doug Skim, Sergio Garcia, Min Woo Lee, and Sung J M.
Yeah. So again, you're getting the higher odds there with more people. I don't hate that.
No. No.
Now, Sam, I'll give you. You have either you can end on that or give us one more.
One more, and that's actually perfect because I literally only have one more. And this is another 3 ball, but we already hit on them. So I won't go into detail, but Wyndham Clark plus 175 over.
Is this one round or all rounds?
All rounds. Well, this is all rounds. Everything I've been saying has been all rounds so far, except for those like Neiman singular rounds. But this one, Wyndham Clark, full tournament matchup over Finau and Zalatoris at plus 175. For reference, real quick, Zalatoris plus 180 and Finau plus 170. So technically, Clark was in the middle of that group, and I love Zalatoris. I've been riding him, but give me
Clark more right now.
Yeah, I'm all over Wyndham Clark right now. All over.
Clark has a good tournament. You're going to clean up.
So yeah, so those are all my props. Sorry, that's all I have.
No, man, I love it. I love, dude. Appreciate you all. Good plays. Certainly, we love some Brian Harmon here. We love some Wyndham Clark. Max and I love some Sahith this weekend. But most importantly, just throw something out there. Root for a guy and just enjoy the Masters in general. I can't wait.
Dude, it's the best, man. It's all the plays. Like,
dude.
It really is. It is a beautiful thing.
So it's an odd. I just hope for a Sunday afternoon where it's pretty close coming down the stretch.
Yep. And anything like live odds that we have that we feel confident enough where the people need to know, we will absolutely let that information out. There's no way if Sean, Max, or I have something that we feel so confidently about, we won't post it. But overall, I think I mean, honestly, I think we gave you guys like 50 picks. So you got to delineate what you want to pick from there. But I think we gave you more than enough. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit a bunch of these picks because it's not like that's what I like about golf. Like we can all win here. Like it's not, I think we all had UConn -6.5. but at the same time, but with golf, it's like, dude, we don't know shit. Any first round leaders, anything like that, we like. But yeah, we'll post the picks, keep track of the odds. Anything else from you guys? Otherwise, let's have ourselves a good Wednesday night. Sean, you are like an hour and a half from birthday boy, big 2-9.
I appreciate it, but you're that more. I'm even less way from needing to use the potty here as well. But
I got the Cubs game to watch.
yeah,
yes.
Sam, thanks for running the ones and twos. Happy Masters, happy UFC. Max, can't wait for that to see that come out. But
love you guys. Let's go. Let's have ourselves a good weekend.
All right, enjoy. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, both of you.
Happy birthday, everyone. Let's go.